Here's a hard truth that nobody really likes to hear. Most people won't get rich, and it's not because they're lazy, and it's not because they're stupid. It's because they're following rules that were never, ever designed to make them wealthy in the first place. We're always taught to blame the obvious things, right? Laziness, bad luck, maybe not earning enough. But the real problems, they're much deeper. You can earn a great salary, work for decades, do everything you're supposed to do, and still end up broke. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why that happens, and more importantly, what separates the people who escape this system from those who stayed trapped in it. So, let's start with the biggest myth of them all. Myth number 1. The idea that a bigger paycheck automatically means you're building more wealth. It sounds so logical, but honestly, it's often the very first step into the trap. Now, check this out, because this really flips the script on what we think we know. Imagine a doctor who's pulling in 120,000 euros a year. Sounds great, but if they spend every single cent that comes in, their net worth is, well, zero. Now, compare that to a small business owner who only makes 40,000 a year, but they own the business. They own an asset. That business owner is the one who's actually building wealth. It's a huge distinction. And this gets us to a really crucial point. We have to redefine what wealth actually is. It's not about how much money you make, it's about what you keep. It's what you own, and it's what's working for you while you're sleeping. That right there, that's the real game changer, making the shift from just earning to actually owning. Okay, so let's play out a scenario. Picture this. You finally get that big promotion you've been grinding for. Your salary jumps by a solid 20,000 euros. You feel like you finally made it, right? But then, what happens? Where does all that extra money actually go? Almost like magic, your expenses just expand to meet the new income. The house payment gets a little bigger. You get a loan for a newer car. You add a few more subscriptions. You go on much nicer vacations. And suddenly, your fixed expenses are higher than they've ever been. This phenomenon has a name: lifestyle inflation. And it is the silent killer of wealth. It's why so many people earning six figures are still living paycheck to paycheck. They're just doing it with more expensive stuff. You're running faster and faster on the hamster wheel, but you're not actually going anywhere. Now, this isn't just a personal feeling, okay? This is part of a much bigger picture. A lot of the time, you're working against a system that is literally designed to keep you stuck in that very cycle. And you can think of it like the system's own training program. We're taught this 4-step loop from a really young age. Step 1, work for money, trade your time for a salary. Step 2, spend that money on consumption. Step 3, borrow more money to get the things you can't quite afford. And step 4, just repeat. Stay on the treadmill. The whole economy is built on you doing this. And here is the fundamental flaw in that entire model. Your salary is tied directly to your time. And there are only 24 hours in a day, right? You have a hard ceiling on how much you can possibly earn. Real wealth, true wealth, requires separating your income from your time. You do that through assets that can grow and scale way beyond what you can do on your own. So let's go back to that raise for a second. You got more money in your bank account, sure, but are you actually getting any richer? The answer might surprise you. So let's say your salary went up by 3%. That feels like a win. But what if inflation that year was 5%? Well, your purchasing power, what your money can actually buy, just went down. You're getting poorer, even with a bigger paycheck. This is how the system quietly punishes people who just save cash and earn a wage. Meanwhile, people who own assets like real estate or businesses, their prices just rise with inflation, and their net worth actually goes up. And all of this brings us to the real heart of the issue. The real gap between people who build wealth and those who don't. It's not their income, it's not their job, it's not even their IQ. It all comes down to their mindset. We're taught to play it safe, avoid risk. But here's the crazy paradox. Staying in your comfort zone, avoiding all risk, that is the biggest risk of all. It's a guarantee that you'll stay stuck. Wealth isn't built by avoiding risk, it's built by learning how to take smart, calculated ones. This chart just lays it all out perfectly. You've got two mindsets that lead to two completely different destinies. The common mindset, it's focused on earning a salary to pay this month's bills. It sees money as something to be spent for comfort right now. But the wealth mindset, that's totally different. It focuses on building or buying assets. It sees money as a tool to be put to work for freedom later. It thinks in decades, not months, and it tries to understand and manage risk, not just run away from it. It's like running a completely different operating system for your life. And that's really the whole point. Getting rich is way less about being a genius and way more about your behavior. It's about having the patience and the discipline to stick with a plan. It's honestly simple, but it's not easy, and that's why so few people actually do it. So, how do you break out? What's the escape plan? Well, the path forward is surprisingly simple, but like we just said, that doesn't mean it's easy. So here they are, the unconventional rules for wealth. And they're unconventional because they go against everything the system trains you to do. Number 1, spend less than you earn. You have to create a gap. 2, use that gap to build or buy assets. You have to move from being a consumer to being an owner. 3, reinvest consistently so your assets can start working for you. 4, protect yourself from inflation by owning things that actually hold value. And 5, maybe the most important, think in decades, not months. You have to play the long game. This formula is boring, I get it, but it's the one that actually works. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. After seeing how this whole game is set up, are you going to keep playing by the system's rules, the ones that are designed to keep you consuming? Or are you ready to start making your own? The choice, at the end of the day, is all yours.